What's up, gamers? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the most underrated attackers in Rainbow Six Siege. Before we go any further, the links to my Twitch and Twitter in the description below, so make sure you go check those out. So, on attack, there are obviously the attackers that are played a lot more than others, right? Those attackers that played a lot are probably Ash, IQ, Zofia, Jackal, Buck, Sledge. You know, lots of the operators are able to get kills and a lot of fun to play. Lots of 3-speed, stuff like that. Really good guns, really easy to use utility. Just pretty much straight up fragging characters. But there are lots of operators that are very underrated and I think should be played a lot more than they are. And those operators, I'm not putting this in any particular order, but those would be Monty. A really good Monty is terrifying to play. Fuse, because he can clear so much utility with his cluster charges, and he has the best gun in the game, the AK-12. Capitao, because of all the utility he has fire and smoke to help plant, and pretty good guns, flashbangs to clear Wamais and ADSs, or a Claymore to help watch flank. Speaking of watch flank, Nomad, just because of what I just said, she can watch flank very, very well. She has really good guns, and flashbangs and breach charges, whatever you need. And the last one would be Cali. Now, people think Cali's broken. I tend to agree. Her gun is really, really good if you're able to hit your shots. It's a one-shot down. I feel people don't pick her that much because it is a bolt action gun, and in this game, fire rate is very, very important. Still, I think Cali is very underrated. But our first operator we're going to be looking at is Monty. So Monty obviously has a shield. Either of his pistols, the P9 or the revolver, are good. I like the P9 because of it has more bullets than the revolver by like 10. So you can hip fire, spray a lot more, and here there are smokes or stuns. You should use smoke grenades to help cover plant. A really good Monty is able to basically be like a crowd control person. Gets intel like a walking drone, basically. Knows how to cover their sides and their back, which are Monty's weakest spots, because that's where his shield doesn't cover. And like I just said, control, push operators back, push the defenders back, and eventually plant. And then Monty's also really good for once you plant the diffuser, for blocking doorways, blocking windows, standing on the diffuser, pretty much keeping all your defenders who are still alive to keep them away from the diffuser and stopping them from diffusing. The way you would want to play Monty is the majority of your time having your shield fully extended, and when you drop your shield, it's either when the person you're fighting, usually you would want it to be a 1v1, but when the person you're fighting is distracted with another attacker or looking the other way or on cams, whatever it may be, just not focused on you. Because once Monty drops his shield, if he gets meleeed, his shield will fly all the way out to the side, or it should, it's supposed to. Sometimes Monty's glitchy. And then Monty's whole body's exposed and he's really easy to kill. Or when you drop your shield, you should instantly crouch and either hip fire spray with your pistol or try an ADS. His ADS is a little slow, so I recommend hip firing. That's why a laser sight is really good on Monty's pistol. And also drop your shield for when you're trying to plant or throw your smoke grenades to help cover the plant. So the next operator we're going to be talking about is Fuse. Fuse has statistically the best gun in the game, the AK-12. The only thing holding it back has to be the sights. The Russian sights are the worst in the game for sure, next to iron sights maybe. Even then, some iron sights are probably better. Depends who you're using. But either way, he has the best gun in the game statistically. Both of his pistols are really good. I like the PMM because it does 60 damage. So he either has breaching charges or smoke grenades. The smoke grenades would be used for planting, or the breaching charges would be used for playing vertically or playing horizontally by opening a wall, which pair really well with his cluster charges. So something that is a problem with Fuse that a lot of people probably don't pick him over is his speed. He is a 1-speed 3-armor operator. I don't think that's too big of a deal though, mainly because in today's game of having so much utility, each cluster charge shoots 6 grenades and he has 4 cluster charges. So that's 24 grenades, which can clear all of the ADSs, all of the Wamais, and do damage and kill the attackers. So here we are, we have a cluster charge placed, and basically all you do is you would use it like a breaching charge, where you hit the same button twice, and then you shoot grenades all throughout the site. I think only 5 went off, so it's either 5 or 6 grenades per cluster charge, which basically either comes to 20 or 24 grenades that go off through all 4 cluster charges. What makes Fuse so strong is that the amount of utility he can clear. He can clear all the ADSs and Wamai discs with his cluster charges, which make him really, really strong. I'm confused why Fused isn't picked as much as he is. He has arguably some of the best guns in the game. With his breaching charges, he's able to make lines of sight to watch vertically or horizontally. And with his cluster charges, he can clear any anti-projectile utility that the defenders can possibly have. So the next attacker we're going to be talking about is Capitao. Contrary to Fuse, he is a 3-speed 1 armor attacker whose special ability is the tactical crossbow, which basically shoots either fire darts or shoots smoke darts. And what he's really good with is for planting, right? Because just like any other smoke grenade, it's really good for planting. But then also with his fire grenades, he can watch anybody running up to the diffuser, anybody maybe rotating to stop the diffuser being planted, pretty much everything. So let's say we are trying to plant vault, right? Plant aviator site, plant vault, pretty default. And let's say that there's a rotate where the rotate usually is, okay? So let's say somebody's going into plant right there. Capitao can shoot 2 fire bolts. You can shoot 1 to vault, 1 to rotate. Now the defenders can't push up. You can smoke off both of the angles so you can't be seen. And then you can also prone and you can watch, and you can probably see the defenders before the defenders can't see you. You can also maybe watch your flank while the fire and smoke are going off. Now, Capitao is really, really strong and very, very highly used inside and even banned in higher levels of play. But I feel for the average ranked player, they're passing him up because they don't think he's that fun or that flashy. He has a really good gun with an angled grip. He is a 3-speed. He has a really good pistol. He has flashbangs or a claymore, whatever you want to choose. And his utility is really, really strong. And I'm just confused because I don't feel like people pick him too much, especially in ranked. I rarely see a Capitao being picked, which I find very interesting due to all of the factors I just listed. He is one of the strongest operators, in my opinion, in the game. Something that's really good with Capitao as well with his smoke bolts is you can make almost one-way smokes, right? So you shoot a smoke bolt up there, and you can obviously see through, but when you go to walk through the smoke, you get blinded, either standing up or crouched, but the whole time, you can see the person coming at you, right? So that makes him very, very strong, a really strong operator. For example, from the defender's perspective, you're just walking up. You can probably see them there, maybe from all the way back here, but they also see you. If you go to try and rush up and stop the plant, then you won't be able to see, and the attackers can see you at all times. So that's just another thing that's really good about Capitao, and another thing to take into consideration when you're picking your next attack operator. Nomad is another one of those operators like Capitao, where in higher levels or higher ranks or higher competitiveness of the game, she will be picked a lot just because of how much utility she has. For those who don't know, her special ability is an air jab, which basically you can place anywhere, sticks to anything, and it's basically when you if a defender walks into its proximity, as you see when I shoot it, it gets that white ring. If a defender comes into that white ring, it blows them back off of their feet, makes a sound, an audio cue, and then you know somebody's there. And if you're close enough, let's say you're watching, where's the door at? Let's say you're watching aviator door, this Nomad goes off to my left on this door. You can swing in and get an easy kill while they're still laying down. She's another one of those operators who has lots of utility with both her flashbangs and her air jabs, and really good guns with both the AK and the ARX. So I'm very surprised that I don't see her as much. Like I said though, in higher ranks or higher levels of play, you will see her quite a bit almost every round unless she is banned. But in general, for lower ranks, like I'm around Plat 3 right now, I don't see her that much. I don't see any of these operators I'm talking about that much. I see them very rarely. And it really surprises me because of how much utility they have and how much usefulness they bring to the team. She's really good for doing the work of multiple players, right? She has 3 air jabs, so you can watch multiple flanks at once. And instead of having 3 players watching every single flank, you can be creative with some of the angles you use and watch all 3 flanks at once. You can maybe, I don't know, as an example, put an air jab onto this bookcase, maybe put one on those stairs. And if you have breaching charges instead of flashbangs, you can open up this wall, right? And then when this air jab goes off, you can maybe, somebody's there, maybe swing up, make a play there. Or you can put this air jab lower down the stairs, maybe like near that potted plant right there. So that way you're either here able to react to this air jab, or you're here able to react to this air jab. And basically you're watching two flanks with one person, but you don't even need to be watching those flanks, right? You could be watching even this flank. You could be watching the deer flank, and then you hear air jab here, boom, air jab here, boom. Maybe be watching a master flank through like a hole in the wall, maybe a breaching charge hole. And then you again hear some of the air jabs go off, and then you react to which air jab you hear and get a free kill. She's really good for getting free kills, watching flank, doing the work of multiple people, and she should pick a lot more than she is. So looking at Cali's weapon, she has the CSRX 300, which is this bolt action sniper, which is a one-shot down to the chest and a two-shot, I believe, to any other limb, of course, except the head. But it's really good. It does, like I said, one shot down, but the only drawback is it is bolt action, so it shoots very slow, and it has a bad ADS time, the slowest in the game, I believe. And then for her secondary SMG, either one is good. She either has this one or the C75. I like this one more because it has a reflex sight as opposed to having iron sights. And then for her gadget, she either has claymore or breaching charges. I like bringing a claymore. I feel like just because I can watch my flank, right? And then also because Cali's gun isn't the best from like 180ing somebody if they sneak up behind you, and you can't just kind of spray and pray. You have to swing and hit your shot with one of the worst sights in the game. But what makes Cali really strong is that her gadget is really, really strong. It's like a Thatcher grenade that you can shoot onto a wall. It goes through the wall, and like you saw, it blew up across the wall. Basically, if there are bandit batteries, cage charges, mute jammers, whatever it may be, stopping you from breaching that wall, they get destroyed. The one thing is she can't stop bandit tricking or cage tricking because she destroys everything on the wall, even like a thermite breaching charge or ace selmas or habana pellets. But other than that, she's really, really good. With her Cali gun, with her sniper, you can bust holes through the wall, through the floor. Pretty much any hole you need, she can make it. With her gun, she can one-shot barricades. With her gadget as well, she can destroy maestro cams, bulletproof cams, castle barricades, pretty much any utility except Wamai discs and Jaeger devices. But that's pretty much it. These are some attackers I feel like are underrated and should be picked a lot more than they are. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, remember to like and subscribe. I stream pretty much every day, link in the description below. If you think any other operators should be on the list or operators shouldn't be on the list that were on the list, make sure you leave any comments in the comment section below, and I'll make sure to read them. We can have a little bit of discussion if you want, anything like that. But I hope you enjoyed, and peace out, gamers.